Welcome to this live TFL review, and I'm here in Dacono at IMI Motorsports at our racetrack, and we are reviewing this, the brand new 2017 Mazda CX-9. And we're going to do a 0 to 60 review, and our camera just kind of died. Is it dead, Ian?
It's not happy.
All right, it's not happy. There you go. A little technical failure there. That's what happens when you have live TV. We also have a team review today, and that is because I have my man. Let me show you. Look who's behind the wheel. Look at that.
What up?
Hey guys. We got a TFL team review, so we've got Nathan. So I'm going to do the engine and the exterior, and Nathan is going to take you along for the 0 to 60. So let's start with the engine, Nathan. Can you pop the hood, please?
You got it.
And by the way, there's a snowstorm happening in Boulder, so the car's a little snowy.
A little dirty.
Yeah, and we're trying to sneak this in before the snowstorm comes out here to the track, because
it's dry for now.
It's dry for now. All right, let's show them what's under the hood, Ian. So under the hood we have, check this out. It's a 2.5 liter. I can figure out how to open it. 2.5 liter Sky Active turbo, and Mazda has used a lot of different engines that have been all non-turbocharged. Basically, for a long time, what Mazda did to get the best fuel efficiency was to increase the efficiency of a regular engine. But in this 3-row vehicle, they actually put in a turbo, and it gets 227 horsepower and 310 pound-foot of torque. And it's actually one of the few 4-cylinder engines or power plants you will find in a 3-row passenger vehicle. And actually, it's very similar to a diesel. It's got a lot of torque up front, 310 pound-foot, but not a lot of horsepower. So that should be interesting in the 0 to 60 run, because oftentimes top speed is about horsepower, but 0 to 60 is about torque. So it should be relatively fast. So let's talk about the styling of this bad boy. And you know what? I love it. I think Mazda has done some of the best work that you can possibly get in styling of a 3-row passenger vehicle. And that's because it doesn't look like it's a 3-row passenger vehicle. It looks like a much smaller car. And that's hard to do. It's hard to make a big car with a lot of room for a lot of people look sexy. And I think Mazda has done that. And this snowflake white color, really beautiful. If it were sunny right now and if it wasn't covered in snow, you'd actually see a little bit of sparkle to this color. But you know what? Let me hand it over to my man Nathan, who's going to give you a little bit of the interior. Nathan, tell them about the interior.
Buenos dias, mi amigos. Check it out. This is, now, Roman and I agree, which is rare that we agree so much on one car, but this is one of the best efforts Mazda's put out, just in general. And part of that has to do with this interior. And the reason why is because it is, for 43 grand, an interior that belongs in a 75 grand car. And I'm not kidding. The quality is absolutely top-notch. Placement is great. Switchgear, everything else feels good. Look, a real transmission that you can actually shift into a gear. Isn't that great? Instead of a button that you have to push or a knob you have to twist. Love this. Can't believe that I had to say that, but it's true. Steering wheel, one of the best in the business in terms of button location and overall feel. There are a couple minor gripes. I'm really not a big fan of the screen that stays up like this. I really wish it would either disappear or fold or do something like that. It's not really that bad though. And then if you look over here, I don't know if you can see this, Ian. This is the other gripe I have, and this is a minor one. The gap between the door and the air conditioning vent here is huge. I can fit my pinky in there. But that's it. I mean, that is really the only minor nitpicky issues that I have. Haven't had enough coffee yet. So if you look at the interior in terms of the seats are very comfortable, front and rear, and Roman fits behind me quite well. But can you go in the third row?
dude.
Get a
No, I don't want to go back there.
Well, I'm here, and I'm ready to go do the 0 to 60, so Ian can't do it. He's holding the camera.
Yeah, okay.
And, you know,
yeah. Send me in the penalty box. Sure, I'll go back there. You want to send the 6'2" big guy in the back.
You're close to 6'3" with the hair.
All right, I'll try it. Let me try it.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
All right. Let's see here. So the back seat here, plenty of room, plenty of headroom, but the way back, I don't know. Nathan, this is a 7-passenger vehicle, but I think the 7 passengers, probably 2 of them should be kids because, yeah. All right, let's see what this is like.
You know,
yeah, I'm kind of...
Hey, you fit. Your head is there. I mean...
You know, I guess if you had to go over lunch, you could do this, but I can't put these back all the way. You can see. Look, they don't... my legs.
But I think these slide forward, don't they?
Yeah, but if...
So if someone was sitting back here, let me... There you go.
Okay, there you go. I guess you could do that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's okay. It's a little bit like that Durango we tested last week. It's meant for kids, not for adults, or for adults in a pinch, or for short adults.
Okay, but that Durango, you had the top one, right? The top model. How much was that?
I had the Citadel. That one was $53,000. What's the MSRP on this bad boy?
It's like 43 and change.
Yeah.
So that's really good. I was trying to think of other vehicles that have this much content for the price. I have the Maroni right here, 43,610.
And Nathan, what's the MPG on this bad boy?
23 combined. It's 20 city, 26 highway. Once again, some of the best out there in terms of numbers. Now, I was trying to think about what we can compare this to. There are so few vehicles out there that have a 4-cylinder engine with 3 rows. That
Volvo XC90.
Volvo XC90, which has a supercharger and a turbocharger and is in a much higher bracket in terms of luxury. But I say this competes with that. And then I would say maybe the Toyota Highlander, but you can get the hybrid, which technically is a 4-cylinder, but it has 2 electric motors in the rear. So really this is competing almost against itself in terms of the bracket.
Yeah, in terms of the engine, I mean, realistically it competes with the Pilot, right?
Right, I mean, in terms of that.
Yeah, that, the other...
Pilot, Highlander,
yeah. Even
the Mitsubishi Outlander, the big one. It competes against all of those, but this one is price-wise and size-wise really impressive. And once again, this interior just kicks ass.
All right, so let's do this, Nathan. If I'm in this car with you, it's going to be slow, right? Because there'll be 3 of us with Ian in it. So why don't you run a 0 to 60, get some numbers just by yourself.
Okay.
And then we'll take the guys along for a ride.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, all right, let me hop out of here. You want me, dude. All right, so Nathan is going to take this for a 0 to 60 run. The car has sport mode. I don't know if it helps any to put in sport mode, but Nathan's much better at launching vehicles than I am, so we let him do the 0 to 60 testing. He seems to have that.
Are you good for me to go?
You're good to go, dude. You got a little bit of wheel spin, and he's off. Ooh, I don't know. He almost ran out of test track. I'm guessing it's going to be just under 10 seconds. That's kind of what it feels like to me. We'll see what his best time is, but we'll take you along for the ride as well. And by the way, over there, that's a Wrangler. That's a brand new Wrangler. And since we're out here, we brought 2 cars, so we'll be going live with the Wrangler as soon as we finish off with this car. So you're going to get 2 live 0 to 60 reviews today. All right, here he comes back. Let's see how it does. By the way, this Mazda has 20-inch tires and wheels. Pretty impressive. Another reason why it's such a sexy beast, as Kent would say. All right, here he comes. Snow's starting to move in. All right, Nate. All right, let's go find out what the damage is. And we can see how it does with 3 people in the car. What's the damage, dude?
Fastest time, 8.27 seconds.
8.27 seconds.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That was the second run, and the first run was 9 seconds flat. With the first run, though, I noticed like there was a little bit of a wheel spin.
Yeah, I saw that when you came off the line.
Yeah.
Well, let me hop in, and Ian, you hop in next to him, and we'll take him for a spin and see what the difference is if you've got a fully loaded vehicle.
3 people instead of 1 big fat one. Okay, let's do it.
All right, hop in the passenger seat. Hey, unlock it, dude.
If I let you guys in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would help. Thank you. You know, Nathan, I'm going to go out on the limb here. I want to say this is one of the nicest interiors of any vehicle in this category.
In its class, absolutely. Yeah. I think the Volvo is still the best one, you know, hands down.
Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, it's definitely a higher bracket. I'd say the Volvo's right up there with Mercedes and some of the other ones.
Yeah, the snowstorm's moving in. You're going to want to get as much runway as possible.
Yep. I'm going to back all the way up. The track length is less than 1/8 of a mile in this straightaway, so it takes sometimes it takes a little bit more space to really get going.
Are you putting it in sport mode?
Yeah, it's in sport mode.
Yeah, it's got 2 modes, sport and I think comfort. Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna leave the traction control on this run.
Yeah. Let's see how it does with 3 people.
All right, here we go, guys. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's get some torque going. And away we go. Yep, still wheel spin. Yeah, there's some ice coming up off the hood.
Did you get to 60?
Yep.
That's not bad.
9.2 seconds. Once again, a little bit of wheel spin on that run. So going back the other way, tire's a little bit warmer, probably would be able to knock off a little tiny bit of time, but that's still not too bad.
Yeah, you know, I think we've gotten them good enough. Why don't you take it around the track? Let's just keep going, give them a sense for what it drives like. We can give them a kind of a handling review.
Well, I'm not going to go flying around the track because it's starting to get damp now, guys.
Well, this car does have all-wheel drive.
Yep, it has all-wheel drive, and the way the all-wheel drive system works is basically a front-wheel drive vehicle that allocates power to the rear wheels when it detects slip. It's not an off-roader. We've taken these things in the snow and onto dirt. They do fine, but there are definitely other vehicles you'd want to consider if you were serious about going actually off-road, obviously.
Hey, let me show them this. This is one of my favorite things. I love this. Ooh, the little privacy screen, Nathan. That's luxury.
But I bet it's not on some of the competitors, you know?
Yeah.
Once again, Mazda's a small company if you consider, you know, who they go up against. And they've managed to take a vehicle and make it absolutely as expensive feeling as they can, and with a really premium exterior. Yes, I'm partial to Mazda, I completely admit it, but that's because they really try hard. They sweat the details, and I've rarely seen Mazda be lazy. Other car companies are, you know, oh, it's fine, we'll leave it.
You know, it's also impressive. It's fun to drive. They always build cars that have a lot of driver.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. They are a car. I mean, I've owned a few Mazdas.
Stop by the Wrangler here.
Okay.
All right, guys. Ian, why don't you walk out with me, and I'll show them the car that we're about to do next, and then you get the sole deal, and
I'll pop it in there.
For the next one, yeah. All right.
All right.
Could you let me out, Nathan?
I'm sorry, Roman.
I'm stuck.
Child safety door or whatever. Okay, yeah. There you go.
Automatic locking doors are the bane of every reviewer. So by the way, guys, we can control the video quality of this. We're going live. We actually I've reviewed this car already on our regular car channel. So if you want to see that review, just click here, or I'll do a link to it right there. As always, this is Roman and my man,
Nathan.
Thanks for watching, and come back in like 5-10 minutes where we're going to go and do the very same thing with the new 2017 Jeep Wrangler. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Ciao.
Adios.